chess, just as our two gentlemen are later on the Rift? We certainly hope so. The golden ticket is also back. What is happening here? Absolute shenanigans. Lore, no, go easy on him. Maybe this is what we'll see in the bot lane between Supa and Kalist later, or maybe it's Mirwin with his Nidalee. Who knows? But the golden ticket is at play here again, because today it is for all the marbles. If you win your best of 5 today, you find yourself in the grand final tomorrow, and you book your ticket to MSI. And I think we cannot overstate how important that is for any team that bout at the international stage, as I'm joined here with my analysts, GB, Finn, and Jack Spectra.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. For KC, it's about going back to an international and actually try and see if you can win one of those finals, not just make it there, but also continue the journey you let yourself out on. And for MKOI, bit of legacy going to internationals, hopefully something that they can change along the way if they're to win today.
They've been there a lot.
Yeah, MKOI at internationals aware. No, I think it's a great chance for them to see and prove that this roster that they've built for the 2025 season actually is an improvement from last season, because all eyes were on them last year and they kind of didn't really step up to the plate in the nationals. But I think this year the roster is way more complete and they have a chance to really do something.
Yeah, and I think the format just means this match means so much. I spoke with Mayado and he told me, like, if you get 3rd place, it's the same as being last place, because you're not going anywhere. And it's top 2 for all the marbles, for MSI, and a chance to represent Europe.
I love that you said that. It is that sense of urgency of being off for the next month and a half, or getting to go to MSI and getting a chance of winning that LEC trophy tomorrow. There are also implications in terms of our format, because you all know that in summer, or you don't know, I honestly forgot, that things are in 2 groups. So the teams get seeded into 2 groups, and the number 1 and number 2 will head one of those groups. But then if you're team 3, you get to pick first which group you want to be in, and then 4, 5, etc. And let's say they all pick Group A, then anyone else is going in Group B.
And that does make 3rd place a bit better than 10th place, I will say, in regards to picking a group for next split. But you are right in regards to MSI. But that also just means there's so much in stake, not just for here, but also for the tournament that's essentially going to qualify you for the World Championship.
It's all connected, Jack Spectra. You know that and Finn as well, as a recently... Well, you're not retired, right? We shouldn't say that.
It's complicated.
It's up in the air. It's complicated. I get it. Yeah. It's complicated. I love that. But you both know how urgent this feels, right? When you have that one match that stands between you and the thing you fight for most.
Yeah, for sure. I think if you go out here, you're just filled with regret. I can't imagine how like the Fnatic players feel, especially to go out in that manner. I think both teams, they really want to put up a fight. So at least if they end up losing, they can say it was close.
Yeah, we'll see. For everyone here in the studio, we've been seeing the awesome fan signs that you've been making. It's been incredible. I want to specifically call out some of the Movistar Koi fans, because they always turn it up. And so we wanted to add a little bit of ante, and we have a little bit of a surprise, perhaps, for a supporter from each team this weekend based on the fan signs. So I hope that can motivate you even more, but I know you do it anyway. So let's get into it then. Movistar Koi versus KC. Last time they met, it was in the upper bracket, round 1, and it was a banger.
It was a banger, and it was surprisingly MKOI who came out ahead. KC was just the favorite going into that series, and the fact that MKOI managed to take it in a nail-biter in that game 5 with KC, with honestly a subpar draft where they faltered at the last hurdle, that's gonna sting, and I think that has really fueled their motivation coming back in the lower bracket.
Yeah, and me watching this series as an analyst, I'm excited, but also watching it as a fan, I think you can't really wish for a better series. I think these 2 teams are as close. I think they're both reaching their peak kind of at the same time right now. At least MKOI, I think, is reaching the best performance yet this year. And I feel like we have this clash in the lower bracket final as we have right now, and it's just such a banger to watch.
It's so cool, of course. MKOI, they couldn't parlay it into a victory versus G2 the day after. KC fell all the way down and had to jump through the hurdles, let's say. But if you don't remember what happened last time, here's a great video to catch you up.
Finally, at 19.5 minutes, it's a dive where Jojo can't move. He flashes away. Spirit Rush followed up, though, by Blighty. First one goes over. Kazel Yoya takes down 1, not 2. A third! The dive going wrong.
Look me. I charm.
Damn.
We go Nash, okay? Go Nash, guys, go Nash.
Nice.
Guys, I just want to say it. Look how they celebrated game 1. They don't believe themselves that they can win against us, you know?
Control of that bot side because of Mirman's trading patterns. Oh, hang on, Jojo.
Hopefully, yeah. Jojo gonna get hit. That's the power of shield bash, baby! Down into the ground, the Sundan slam!
Yep. Nice, good job.
Nice,
good job,
please.
Canada.
You guys are fine?
Yeah, we kill.
Okay, we kill plant 2.
Yeah.
Wait,
Guys are one.
Yes, I will.
Guys are no flash. Go top.
Yes.
You know what Targama said? How we celebrate game 1, that he thinks that we cannot win into them.
Oh, Targama?
Yes. Probably the only comment he said in like 2 hours.
Double turret shot matters not as Jojo looks for last embrace, flash to match, Targmas bumps him away, but you know an auto will all in take. 2 kills for Koi, Trenchline flash to match it as well, a one-man Nara ulti just won't cut it, a double shot back, a double kill for the Canadian mid.
Good job. Good job.
Come on, Aurora.
Look for Dragon, okay?
Come on.
Yeah, I'm looking. Big.
I go back to Drake, okay? Yeah, Aurora behind.
Aurora behind. I'm fine.
Aurora too. Look at Aurora.
Yeah, kill.
More. Yeah, keep going.
Go. More. What are they doing? Guys, we are winning game 5 and this game. We are boosted.
I miss Zoe hitting from like half a screen away. Trouble bubble. Bloody really nicely done. It's bedtime to Elyoya with the bone skewer as well, and Halo played a free kill over to Yike.
Nice. I come to W. I can R. I take it.
Zoe no Babel. Están.
Nice.
Let's complete.
Guys, get vision. Look who going. What the fuck?
It's up in the game.
No flash on those guys, just hit.
Yeah. Nice. Good job.
Job's not finished. We have tomorrow, and then we go on the side. We go on the side tomorrow.
Yeah, they were so excited for tomorrow. We're going to cut that out. It's fine. They can bring it again today because it was super hype. Now, as we get into this matchup, we of course have every lane is important, but we have a couple that we want to focus on specifically. And for the top lane, we have prepared secret PowerPoints because each of our analysts, or 2 of our analysts rather, will try to defend their top laner of the respective team with the surprise PowerPoint. So who wants to go first, and who are you presenting?
I want to go first. I want to talk to you about my boy, Mirwin.
Okay.
Mirwin and I, we go way back. We've practiced against each other. We Fear Crest together, our little champions. And now I'm going to tell you why Mirwin will lead MKOI to victory. Very simple. Lower bracket, who cares? Tokka lower bracket run. When things get hard, Mirwin gets harder. He really steps up to the point, or to the PowerPoints in the finals here. He has a lot of champions in his little ocean. The Gnarly, he completely gapped Kana in the upper bracket final with the Nidalee against the Gnar, and the Vex. We don't talk about it, but he has that prepared into the Ambessa. As we know, you can't blind pick against Mirwin. He has an answer for anything you're going to throw his way. And that is not all it. For the third time, we want to talk about Mirwin's Gnar, because range champions he is adept at. But Gnar, he has great ults, great rage management, and just look, take a little swim in his champion pool. That's what I have here. From the Camille, to the Smolder, to the Fiddlesticks. What will he bring out? No one knows. I bet you're sure Canada doesn't know. He's going to run into the draft, blind pick something, and he's going to run into a wall. And he has El Matadoro Mirvito here with the paella, the seafood, and all the flavors that come with it. The draft is flavorful, the gameplay is flavorful, and you will not be left hungry.
And this one?
Let's talk about that. He's the dog. He's strong but vulnerable. He's very vulnerable right now if any people want to take advantage of him. He's a very soft guy at heart. He has a lot of emotions, and he cares a lot about a lot of things. Will they make it to MSI? That's a good Mirror's team history. First, Origin Astralis represented from the Bisons. That's
Heretics.
when it started.
That was
going.
with me.
Heretics?
It's not about you. Shut up.
Finish talking right now,
Mirror,
Jack.
man. It's a bison from Canada. What? What is going on there? Oh, the buffalo in Canada. Bisons exist in Canada. He played in Bisons. That's why he's going to make it to MSI. You see, that's so smart. They see everything here. Everything is laid out. Thank you for listening to my Mirvito Varosito podcast.
Yay! Amazing. I don't know how you're going to top that one, GB, but
I'm going to do my very best. I want that.
You want my stick?
I do want your steak, yes. Anyways, you were talking about Mirren. I want to take us through dramatic timing. Carry for the Germans. Kana does, yep. So let's talk about Kana. First, let's talk about his one weakness. What does this say? Waxen Gibu's moon phase. Yes, so that is, of course, when the moon is in that position. Even Finn has a better win rate. What? I'm talking about him winning. Even Finn has a better win rate than Kana doing Waxen Gibu's moon phase. As you can look at the win rate right now, Finn is looking at 64, 60 for Kana. Of course, Oruamne is sitting at a measly 48%, but that's not what this is about. But I want to know what you guys are thinking.
You know what you're...
Kana is more handsome than Finn, which is really proven. Some even say he's better than the Shy. They really do say that. Do you say it? Finn said it to me before we went live today. As you can see, Kana won LCK or LEC. He's won both, right? The Shy, neither. Beaten Faker in a best of 3 at least once. The Shy, don't know about that one. Swept by Zeus in an international final. Never. Yup. Lost on Fiora. Nope. Many times. Flashed into a wall as Gragas, potentially. And he absolutely did it as the Shy, right?
Yeah.
So, obviously, you feel like Kana is in a prime position. Let's talk about the MVP ranking. Who did you vote on, Finn?
Vladdy.
Vladdy, okay, but you should have voted on the top laner instead, because this is rigged. This is the guy who's still here. He got second MVP voting. That means he's at least getting second place in the standings as well. His reactions, though?
Upset didn't get first, though.
That's fine. We don't. It only matters in this perspective, right? His reactions. Focus on the present, Jack Spectra.
Yeah.
It's not about the past.
Okay.
Upset is no longer. You know who's here? Kana. So how do they make it to MSI? The answer is in his name, Canada. Yes, I knew this was coming. Was it Kana? No, Kana can go to NA. I like mine one better.
It is yours.
Yeah. Is it? There we go, Canada. That's what I said. That's what I said, Canada. There we have it. This is Jack Spectra.
Amazing.
Thanks for listening.
I like it. No lies told, rather. I like the creative approach of whoever made that PowerPoint. Shout out to you. But how important is it going to be in this matchup? In every single special segment that we have in this Ready Check, we're going to highlight a lane or a player. How impactful is this one going to be, Jack Spectra? Top.
I mean, I think KC, when Kana is ahead, they just look unstoppable, right? He kind of leads the map, he pressures so much on the side lane, and he gets so much done. But when he falls behind, KC just collapses. And I think for MKOI, it's Mirwin as well that has brought out these spicy picks, that has done so much for the team in the draft. So if he's shut down, they lose so much power.
For me, I think Kana's strong laning is a crutch for KC, because I think they rely on him a little bit too much. They're so used to Kana having an individual lead that when it doesn't have that, they kind of fall apart, as Jack Spectra rightfully highlighted, and they don't seem to know how to really progress the game. So I think if you shut down Kana, you shut down KC's entire engine.
I mean, it's something we saw from MKOI before, right? As we go into this matchup, I'd love to know how our refs are preparing for this match.
We're here at the Match Operations Center with League official Malu. Thank you so much for joining me. It's been a while since Worlds. How are you?
Yes, thank you for having me. I'm good. Better now in my safe environment instead of on stage.
Yeah, we don't often see this place, actually. This is where all the referees and League officials watch the game. So how do you guys get ready for a game like today?
That's right. This is where we watch the game from, and we do a lot of technical preparations and play testing. We make sure that our servers are in the right temperature, that the machines have been thoroughly tested. But we also cover for the things that are a bit LEC exclusive and that actually, in fact, cause pauses for our games.
Yeah, I actually want to talk about this. So what would be the main pauses, excuses, or reasons for all the players?
I mean, I thought I would involve you in this as well.
All right.
And have you take a look at a couple of items that we brought and tell me
absolutely.
Which of these random items, beautifully collected here,
so I'm guessing not this one. This one stops draw shows. This one doesn't stop, actually.
Not that one, not that one. Moving on from that one, we are going for this beautiful pile. We have here a Secret Labs pillow. We have a box of gloves, and we have a couple of tools to get away, to help us get rid of mosquitoes, flies, any of these.
All right, so this one seems likely. I could see a player like pause the game because there's a fly or a mosquito in front of their screen.
Absolutely correct, has happened before.
I think I know a backstory about this one, maybe about one of the teams we have on stage today.
I can't really reveal any names for you, but Johnny, if you could please take this to the stage after this. Thank you very much.
Okay, I don't see the use of this one. Why would you guys need gloves for pauses?
Have you taken a closer look at the peripherals that sometimes players bring in? I mean, this is more for safety reasons.
We're gonna talk. Yeah, we're gonna leave this one. What do you think about today's game? Are players disruptive usually, or do we have a lot of players who will usually pause the game between MKOI and?
Look, as long as we don't have any explosive water bottles on stage, we should be just safe.
Safe and ready. Malu, thank you so much.
Thank
Johnny,
you.
thank you for keeping us safe. And Shox, back to you.
Thank you so much, and thank you to Malu and the team as well. As we find ourselves here near the trophy, you're going to see it in a second, because I want to talk about mid lane a little bit. And I also want to talk about everything that happened on X. Now, yesterday and the day before was a pretty crazy day on X. This was crazier. You know, it was insane. All the NA people had time to wake up by the time that Movistar Koi beat KC, and they did not hold back.
But it's also just a history, right? You're talking about the moment that NA got to see it with Jojo finally prevailing, but it was also clapback from the initial one that Vladdy had put out with him being Jojo's father. And I feel like majority of playoffs between KCM and Koi has just been a paternity test to see who's actually the father between them. We'll get our answer today, but even moving on, Daddy's coming. Vladdy 1v9, Jojo,
wow.
He's hungry for this one.
Yo, we are saying some things today on Ready Check. Let's see who is I'm not even going to say it. But between Jojo and Vladdy, let's talk about this story a little bit, because I do feel like, for me, Jojo is one of the most improved players since the beginning of the year.
I mean, you guys had a tier list in the beginning, so
Yes.
let's talk about Jojo, Finn. What we got to for the redemption act here?
I mean, I will say, Jojo coming into spring, I wasn't that impressed, but the glow up he has shown, the way he has improved week to week to week, constantly beating people in lane. This is an American mid laner that has come to Europe. Canadian mid laner that has come to Europe, North American, has come to Europe and is beating our mid laners in lane. I think Jojo right now is the best laner in the league.
Whoa.
And we saw it in the series against Vladdy, where he actually consistently accumulated advantages every single game.
Just to check, laner or mid laner?
Laner.
Laner?
Yeah.
Whoa, what
I
do you
mean, his
think,
stats speak for himself. He was second in stats compared to Caps, so I think there's still that one to wait for.
But do stats matter when everything's on the line?
And we're just talking, well, everything's on the line. Hell no, of course not. It's what you put out on the day. But last time they played, it was Jojo who continuously was one of the main reasons that they won those games.
It is, but Vladdy, he is the reigning king, and as long as he doesn't fall or get kicked off or that trophy gets clawed out of his hands, he's still the best, right?
Yeah, but even look, so he's actually adapted a lot, because coming into this split, he put heavy emphasis on all the Sekka champions, right? But in the series against Fnatic, guess what? Didn't play this at all. He was playing on the range champion. He went back to what we know Vladdy is so, well, dangerous on in general, and I think that's going to be a crucial adaptation we'll see from KC again. They're not going to fall into a trap where they're going to heavily emphasize melees. They're going to beat Jojo on the ranged.
Yeah, I mean, the really cool thing is when you look at these champion pools, it's all the same champions. The only slight little difference is that Jojo has a tendency to go towards the Ahri, and Vladdy really likes the Wei. Other than that, they all play the exact same champions, so coming into a Fearless series, it's going to be so crazy when you go into those later games and all these champions are out, who can really dig the deepest.
Yeah, Vladdy was like, all right, I'll play Zoe then, whatever you say. When it comes to kind of the priorities and how much this particular matchup is going to influence the best of 5, we answered it for top. What's the answer for mid lane?
Well, it's going to influence it heavily, especially because you look at the champions that has impact. It's a lot of these, well, not really counter, but champions that move, right? The Talia, I think, is a huge one in terms of influence in the map. The top lane, the bot lane, whatever you want to get up. But also the Aries, because the mid-jungle 2v2, I think that's going to be pivotal in terms of gaining a lead in today's series.
Yeah, not only the 2v2, but including the support in that as well. I think the mid-jungle support is just where the game is played around. And I think the way that MKOI has used Elioy Alvaro and the way that Casey has used Targamas and Yike are all shifting every single series more and more towards that mid lane, because that is the center of the map and the most crucial position.
And also where there's a lot to win or to gain for either. I mean, Vladdy doesn't want to get embarrassed like he did that time, because why would you? Definitely not from someone from North America. Let's see how it plays out. But of course, we need to start talking about the bot lane. And Laura's now standing by with Supa and Kalist in the Marriott Bonvoy check-in.
Thank you so much, Shox, and merci beaucoup, Kalist. Thank you so much for joining me ahead of this really important series rematch against MKOI. Didn't go well last time.
No, last time it didn't go well. I think it was just a bad day. We were not really well prepared, and I think Koi was in a good shape. They were playing good and had, I think, good option in drafts. But this time it's really different. I think everyone could see that against MKOI the first time and against Heretics we were like a bit down. We were not in the best form. I think now it's slowly coming back. We showed it against Fnatic, and I'm not sure if we're like at 100%, but I think we are like strong enough to just beat MKOI because most of the time we are beating them. It's not really close, but I think it was just a bad day last time.
What is so special about MKOI? And you guys, outside of the French-Spanish rivalry that we know about, what do you care about these matchups?
I mean, it's pretty funny because I think they have like a bit the same playstyle as Fnatic. Basically, if their bot lane is not ahead, I feel like they just can't win the game. So it will be a bit exciting today to see if we have good matchups and we can abuse them.
Do you have any message for Supa? Waiting for you at the other side of the tunnel. I'm gonna get to him in a sec.
I mean, I just want to say good luck, and I hope there will be a lot of 2v2 fighting, and I hope that there will be also like not really hard matchups, like both ways, so both bot lane can fight and then just have a good match.
Well, I wish you a very good game, Caliste, and bonne chance for today.
Merci.
And now we're going to head to Supa, because of course, one side of the rivalry is here, the other side is there. And Supa, thank you so much for joining me ahead of today's game. You keep on talking about the rivalry between MKOI and KC, but especially on the bot lane against Caliste. What is special about this one for you?
I mean, I think we make it special in the EU Master. It was the first time Spain versus France. I think people love it, fans love it, so we need to keep doing it.
You kind of made their game really hard last time, making fun of them on the Rift. But from what Caliste was saying here, it was a one-time thing. They know they're going to be ready today. What do you think of this?
I mean, I think everyone creates their own history, because if you come to the official thinking, we're going to lose again, they need to lie themselves. I think we are gonna win again because I think this year we come really prepared.
Do you have a message for either the KC fans or your position on the bot lane?
I mean, I just want to give a message to all KC fans. I think you love me because I have you 24/7 in my Twitter. So today you will get vacation.
Keep the haters loud. Supa, thank you so much for this interview. Best of luck today on the Rift. And Jack Spectra, over to you for more on this beautiful history between the two of them.
Caliste versus Supa. It's been a rivalry that's often felt unrequited. It's felt one-sided. It was Caliste having his number every single time, but a spark was lit this playoffs as Supa finally struck back. But to understand why this rivalry is so meaningful for both of these players and why it's so damn exciting, we need to go back to the beginning. It was 2023 EMEA Masters Summer Finals where KC versus Movistar fought it out. It was an incredible 5-game series that went the distance, but it was Caliste dominating and taking all the highlight. And it was actually Supa then that ended up promoting because Caliste was too young. But, even though Supa was the one who went to LEC, he had a great first year, he went to Worlds and he grew so much as a player. It was Caliste that everybody was talking about. Supa hidden in Caliste's shadow as Caliste won Winter in 2025, went to first stand, performed admirably. He was the talent that everybody was looking for. But now, Supa taking down Caliste once, he has the chance to do it again, to take his spot at MSI and to cement himself as the winner of this rivalry as one of the best ADCs in EU. And more than that, it's France versus Spain. There's so much at stake between these two teams. There's their own personal pride, their regional pride, and the two fan bases clashing it out.
Wow, great job, Jack. That was amazing, and I think you put it all into words, how much I think this rivalry means so much, and I cannot overstate how impressive that is, because we live in a league where it was G2, where it was Fnatic, where it was then the Mad Lions, and now it's all Movistar KOI KC. That is, I think, even for neutrals who are not part of KC of Movistar KOI, is the most exciting match to watch right now.
I mean, everyone feels the tension. Everyone feels the tension, and it's like you can cut it with a knife. It's just so exciting, and no one wants to lose.
No, for me, it's also just the fact that these teams have just rallied with fan bases bigger than almost the esports itself. Like, I think it's the fact that you have two teams here that can both fill out stadiums, who both deserve with this kind of fan base to go to an international stage, to bring the fandom to these places, but only one of them can go, and that's what's so ridiculous between the rivalry between these two teams.
I mean, all the parallels being drawn, they're both having road shows, they're big fan bases, France versus Spain being caught up in the middle of it. It's an incredible rivalry, and I'm so excited for this match.
It's so cool. I love the way you put that, Goldberg. They they are owed more than just playing in this studio.
Absolutely.
They are owed arenas in the way they get their fans going and they play themselves. But I wonder, when you look at, for instance, Supa versus Kalista in that last best of 5, when you look at how Movistar Koi really rose above, how much do we feel like that was a one day where they could play at the top of their game for 5 games? And can they do that again?
I mean, it was the best I ever saw Supa this year, for sure. Like, he was just so calm and collected, and I think in those late-game team fights, that was what made the difference between him and Kalist. Kalist was continuously making mistakes. Supa, on the other hand, barely made any, and that's what some of that series came down to.
I mean, to me, the impressive thing about that series was the fact that MKOI adapted to the new patch way better than any other team at that day. And I feel like they just was so ahead of the meta. They realized the standout, they realized all these situations where you can put your AD carry on an island alone. And I think Supa did that so flawlessly. And now I really wonder, has Casey caught up? Has Casey finally realized that this is what's up? And they're gonna match MKOI in their own game?
Yeah, when you look at it from KC's angle, also, they came here and they won in winter. They firmly set their feet at the top of the mountain in EU. It's all about that feeling of this one best of 5 now. We lost to them before, and if we lose today, we're not going to MSI. We have to be in a timeout until summer, and that is just not the way we're built.
I think they got a little bit cocky in their last BO5. It was not the Kalist we were used to. It was not the Vlad we were used to. We've seen them dominate team fights. We've seen them create so much pressure, so much space, and be the difference maker. And that wasn't what we saw. I agree. MKOI, they had a fantastic series. But KC, they're looking so much better now. Against their series against Fnatic, sure, Fnatic looked shaky, but that was some of the best League of Legends I've seen from KC all this split.
And I agree with that. I think it's one of those things where they barely made any mistakes in that series. They barely had to drop the ball in terms of any map movements. They were always matching Fnatic. They were always ahead of the play. But I also think MKOI has had time. And it's not like their weaknesses weren't exposed. They still lost 2 games to KC, right? They still lost to G2, which is a lot of lessons learned. And they had an entire week as well to figure out what was that went wrong. And I think they can apply that to today.
Yeah, Finn, what we heard after that match versus G2 was we put so much into getting ready for that best of 5 versus KC that we ran out of steam, quite literally. Now they've had a lot of time to prepare for this one.
I mean, last weekend really came down to, I think, MKOI's masterfully crafted preparation coming into that series. And as you highlighted, they've had so much time to once again go into that chamber and really dig deep into the weaknesses of KC. So I expect an MKOI that is well prepared, and I expect an MKOI that is ready to pounce on the cracks in the surface of the KC war machine.
Oh, preparation can only get you so far, my friend. If a team is better, they're just better. I think KC's gonna win, and I don't think it's gonna be close.
Okay, do you want to do predictions?
I said the Fnatic KC series would be close. It would be back and forth, would be 5 games. KC blew it out of the water. They're gonna do it again today. KC 3-0.
Whoa!
I disagree so heavily. I think it will be close. I think it's gonna be a close series, but I think MKOI showed, as they did last time, that they can beat KC. I'm gonna say 3-2 MKOI.
And I have so much faith in the preparation of MKOI, of learning of their own mistakes, of fine-tuning some of the issues that they had going up against KC, that I'm saying 3-1 today to MKOI.
I love it. The panel is divided. A strong prediction from Jack Spectra, and it also shows what KC wants to do here today, because they don't just want to win, they want to embarrass them going into tomorrow. But Movistar Koi, they did it once. Supa gave a superhuman performance. Who's to say he cannot do it again? Let's go. KC versus Movistar Koi in our spring finals weekend.
Last time I was very cocky playing against MKOI, and this time I'm gonna be more humble. We always managed to stomp them.
Eliza slows down Supa, perfectly timed ulti with the feathers out in a double root. Supa's made fun of them.
Look how they celebrated game 1. They don't believe themselves that they can win against us, you know?
The first seed chooses, forever they will regret the day that they crossed the mighty MKOI.
I think our biggest improvement was mentally. We now come really prepared into the matches, which is a big improvement from last split.
Looking at both teams, I will say KC is a lot better. I think MKOI is more of they peak very high, but they also have very low lows. So that's why I think KC is a much tougher opponent.
Connor will fall. No healing, so damn much.
God.
Vladdy, the pushback knocks him into the team, but again, it does not matter. The Azir is just ready to style. Upset, running for his life to the final moments of Fnatic in spring. KC complete dominance.
I think MKOI is going to be harder than Fnatic. We really have to prepare a lot and be very decisive against them. This split, we've worked more than any other team. I think we deserve it just more than any other team.
Kana flashes away, the engage is there before he turns into a big bad beastie boy. Ewan, he's going to grasp him for the kill. The sidestep backwards was so clean.
Mervin has this, oh, he might counterpick you to Oblivion and you can't play the game because you just find something very weird. But definitely for me, the most challenging player to play against is Kana.
So, hang on, Jojo.
Oh, yeah. Jojo going to get hit. That's the power of shield bash, baby! Down into the ground, the Sundered Slam!
I think we will easily go to finals, and I think we will also beat G2.
Mickey will fall to Vladdy, but now KC want more. Kana is out for blood. He took an objective. He wants to take their lives. Knockback with a Thundering Blow. Montage does not stop. Kalist with a double in mid.
The MSI is at stake, our egos are at stake, fanbase is at stake.
Helio goes for the engage, and it's Alvaro who turns it back. A shot down onto Gliss. KC's turn is going devilly wrong!
Now we finally get our second chance against them, so if they beat us this time, then for sure they really deserve it, but I don't believe it's going to happen. We are better than them.
Kana can't do much else, and a triple over to Super, but Koi bring back the beast.
I would prefer to face KC in the finals because I want my revenge. They beat us last time very convincingly. We are very, very upset about that, and we don't want to let anyone else but us win the trophy.